What's up gamers, hope you all are having an amazing day. In this video I'll be reviewing this Fantech K613L gaming keyboard. Well, my opinion on this keyboard is a little mixed because this is not a keyboard that I can go ahead and say bro just buy this is a really value for money keyboard, or this is also not a keyboard that I can go ahead and say bro this is a scam. Well, I hope after watching this video you'll be able to understand if you should buy this keyboard or not. I haven't made a tech review or accessory review in a really long time because I was busy doing other stuff. Well, they are actually back now, so if you want more tech reviews or accessories like keyboard, mouse and headset reviews, well then I think you should consider subscribing to the channel. By the way, in the review I'll also be comparing this keyboard with the Fantech K612. Well, because I used to use the Fantech K612 keyboard for a really long time, for about 2 years actually. So without wasting any more time, let's just get right into it. First of all, let's go through the unboxing. So this is what the box looks like. Well, there are two versions of this keyboard. One is the K613 and another is the K613L. The only difference between them is that one has a numpad while the other doesn't. And here you'll see some features of the keyboard like 104 keys, 3 lighting modes, 25 keys anti-ghosting and stuffs like that. On the backside you'll find the explanation of the features and the technical specifications of the keyboard. Now let's open the box. Inside the box, you'll get a user manual guide and a thank you card from Fantech. And then you will get the keyboard. By the way, the keyboard has a long braided cable which is really nice. And this is what the keyboard looks like. Lookwise, I think this is a really simple looking keyboard. There's nothing super fancy. The top part you can see here is actually made from metal, but this is a really thin sheet of metal and it doesn't add anything to the build quality. And build quality wise, it's not that great. I've been using this keyboard for 2 months now. As you guys can see, the middle here is actually bent a little bit. Well, I don't think it's a huge issue, but it's an issue and it's there. By the way, if I do this, you can see the keyboard actually bends like a thick piece of paper. So well, yes, you can say the build quality of this keyboard isn't that great. So I think I would rate this only 6.5 out of 10 in terms of build quality. While the other keyboard, I mean the Fantech K612, actually is solidly built keyboard and much sturdier than this one. So if you think build quality will be an issue, then Fantech K612 is a much better option than this. The keycaps here have a 6mm floating, which makes it look like a mechanical keyboard and also makes the LED backlight visible. I'll talk about the LED backlight later, but this is not a mechanical keyboard, this is a membrane keyboard. But I think it's actually better than a lot of cheap membrane keyboards because there's no ghosting issue and typing on this actually feels better than the cheap ones. Well, as this is a membrane keyboard, the keycaps are actually not changeable and opening the keycaps are actually not that easy, and if you do end up breaking a keycap, there's no way that you can replace one. It's just broken, and as I said, opening the keycaps is a huge issue. The cleaning process of this keyboard is also really hard, so I think I would already recommend you guys to clean it every 3 or 4 months. The letters on the keycaps are totally visible when the LED is turned on, but however when it's turned off, well, it's actually impossible to see the letters, so that's the issue. The keyboard has 4 lock indicators: the scroll lock, num lock, caps lock and the Windows key lock. I am really happy that they actually included the Windows key lock because it happens a lot of time when we accidentally press the Windows button and yeah, it just messes up with our game. Well, locking the Windows is really simple. Just press function and Windows button at the same time. Now let's talk about the sound quality. I mean, keyboard sound quality is a real thing now. So here's a sound test of the keyboard. So as you guys can see from the sound, the keyboard isn't that loud. I had to keep my microphone really close to the keyboard to get the sound, and it's not that loud as I said, and it's not that like really mechanical kind of feel giving or anything. There is a little bit of sound, and well, I don't think anyone should count for that. Now as we are on the sound test, let's compare the sound with the Fantech K612. So as from the comparison, I think you guys can say that Fantech K612 is much better and louder than the K613. So well, yes, that's the thing. By the way, the Fantech K612 is also a membrane keyboard. I just wanted to remind that. So I don't think anyone should buy this keyboard for sounds or stuff like that. So I think Lookwise is a really nice looking keyboard. Now let's come to the RGB lighting. Well, this is not a RGB lighting keyboard. This is basically a LED backlit keyboard. Well, I think a lot of people don't understand what's RGB lighting and what's LED backlit. Well, RGB lighting means that you can control the light and set it to whatever color you want, while LED backlit means that the colors are fixed. And this keyboard has 3 fixed colors, so they are not actually one color, they are actually different color modes. So here are all the color modes that you can see. By the way, the colors can be changed by pressing FN plus scroll lock at the same time. By the way, you can also change the brightness of the lights by pressing function plus page down or page up. The lighting isn't that bright, but I think it's bright enough to be able to use it in a really dark room. By the way, there is also a little breathing effect of this keyboard. Just press the FN plus home button. So this is what the breathing effect looks like. Now let's talk about my gaming experience with this keyboard. I think it was really good. I didn't have any kind of ghosting issues while playing with this keyboard, and my experience with this has been really great. The only issue I had found is the spacebar takes more pressure to be registered than the other keys. Well, simply because there are 2 springs under the spacebar, which makes it so that you have to press the spacebar a little harder, and I was having little issues when I first got this because I wasn't used to pressing the spacebar harder than the other keys, so that's why I was having issues, but I got used to it after using it for 2 or 3 weeks. So I think that won't be an issue for you either. There are 2 stands under the keyboard which lifts the keyboard a little bit. Now it comes down to one question, that if you should buy this keyboard or not. Well, here's my answer to that. If you can get a keyboard that's a mechanical keyboard at the price point of this one, then I think you should go for the mechanical keyboard. But if you don't see a mechanical keyboard at the price point of this keyboard, and this is the only option that you can find right now, and LED backlit or RGB lighting isn't a really big issue for you, then I think you should go for this keyboard. I totally recommend this in that case. But however, I don't think I would put this keyboard over any other mechanical keyboards, or I don't think any other really good membrane keyboards like the Fantech K612. Well, if you want a better membrane keyboard, then go for the Fantech K612. That's much better than this one, as I said, build quality wise and sound wise, and also that has more RGB effects than this. So I think that's what I had to say for this keyboard. Well, I think this was it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.